Hello and welcome back to my channel, which has been a long time coming. Last time I was doing things on here, I was working on weight loss, which I eventually did, but then I became pregnant. Oops. And I was always going to do the whole pregnancy journey videos, but pregnancy is exhausting, so I didn't. But now I want to try and do some videos about my perspective because I've been a professional nanny for over 5 years and now I have my own kid and it is way different. My son is just over 3 months old now, so the 4th trimester is done. We are done. Unfortunately, now I can't say I don't know what I'm doing because the youngest child I'm taking care of was 3 months old when I started. And everyone had agreed with me that newborn to 3 months is very different, and it has been. But I can't play dumb anymore. I just can't do it. I can't be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, because now we're getting into where my job has started. So basically the biggest thing that happened this past month is we did what I call a Midwest tour. My husband and I, we live in New York City, Brooklyn, and we went back home to Minnesota and Wisconsin to show off the baby. And unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but it was a difficult time because he had to get his shots before we went for his 2-month, and I may have cried, only a little bit. He was such a trooper. He didn't really cry until the very last shot, which I don't remember what it was, but it was supposed to be like the most painful, and he did this silent cry where he goes all red and like didn't breathe what felt like forever, but it was probably only like 5 seconds. And then he was fine, like in 30 seconds, and was like, all right, that happened, I'm good. I was still not quite over it. I felt horrible. And I knew, I had been preparing myself, I knew he was gonna get shots. I knew I wasn't gonna do well because when my kitten had to go in to get blood work done before she was fixed, they took her to the back, but I could still hear her crying, and I lost it at the vet's as well. So I just knew that this was not going to be a good situation for me. Luckily, my husband was able to come and be second form of support, though the nurse was really great because she was like, okay, please don't cry, because if you cry, I will cry. I was like, okay, I promise I'll try not to cry. So I didn't like full out cry. I just, some tears came down. Tried to hold it together. And basically I'm just trying to deal with, sorry, I'm looking down because I actually made notes for this video because I've never done that before. And I'm trying to stay on task, and pretty much these videos are just going to be like shoot and post. I don't have time to edit. I barely have time to wash myself. I was lucky enough to wash my hair tonight. So thank you, husband, even though he started screaming right in the middle of it and I still had conditioner in my hair, and I can't leave that in, sorry kid, so he had to cry for a little bit. So, but basically, this past month he did his Midwest tour. My husband's making me a cake. Yeah, I'm not doing weight loss anymore. I might get back to it, but right now I'm just enjoying the little things. So we started in Minnesota. One of my friends was getting married and I was in the wedding, and we thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to kind of like spend a week in Minnesota, see everyone, show him off, and then I'd go spend a week with my parents in Wisconsin because I'm on maternity leave and I have nothing better to do. It was crazy. We had the rehearsal dinner Friday night, we had the wedding Saturday night. He did great. He stayed up till 10:30. Luckily my friend let me use her bridal suite to breastfeed and everything. And then he slept over 8 hours and we're like, oh my god. The next day both sides of my husband family came over to his parents to meet him, so it was a lot of people. And then on Monday we had a friend gathering for all our college friends to come and meet him, and that was a lot of people. And like, he does pretty well with like, he doesn't have like stranger danger. Like my little sister, she wouldn't go to anyone but my mom, but he does get to a point where he's like, okay, I'm over this, I just want my mom, because he's a mama's boy. On the plane ride over, he wouldn't even go to his dad. It was super annoying. And he would have slept the whole time if we hadn't sat on the tarmac for an hour. Thank you so much, LaGuardia. Awesome. Stop distracting me. And yeah, he did great. He did really good with people. And then eventually the rest of the week it was kind of just one-on-ones with my nanny family back in Minnesota. The kids were so happy and excited to meet him. And then also visiting other friends, just like, you know, one-on-one or two-on-two. It was kind of surprising to discover how many friends and even family members have never held kids before. Just being like super nervous about it. One of my good friends, Maggie, she was holding him and then he pooped. And when he pooped, you can hear like the squirt and the gush. And she was like, what do I do? Like trying not to drop him, but also not wanting to hold him anymore. And I was like, I don't know. Figure it out. I try to be kind to people who haven't held babies before, but also to basically drown them in immersion of what having a child is, because I think it's funny to watch. I used to do that to my husband all the time with my nanny kids. I would be like, here, hold the baby, and he'd be like, what am I doing? I was like, I don't know, but this is funny to watch. And luckily that helped him when we had our own kid, and he wasn't as like nervous. He was still pretty nervous, but he got the hang of it. We also even took him camping. So a bunch of our friends back in Minnesota have a fall camping trip and a spring camping trip. And since we've been living in New York for the past 2 years, we have missed them. And one of the things I requested, because I knew I was coming out during the fall, was to go on a camping trip and introducing to camping, because I needed some nature. When you live in the city, you need some nature, and Central Park does not count. I don't care whatever New Yorker tells you that. It doesn't. You sit from one end to the other and you can still see buildings and still hear the traffic. It doesn't count. So we were able to go camping. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best weather. The first night it got to like mid-40s. He was totally fine. He was super warm. He had a suit. He had tons of... He was the most comfortable person there. My husband Jake and I, on the other hand, were not prepared at all. I had t-shirts and a sweatshirt, and luckily we borrowed some hats from his parents. That was it. And I kept telling myself that if I were to bring the blanket out, I would just be colder when I went to bed. So the first night we made it through. It was great. We went hiking. He did a really awesome job. One of our friends brought their puppy, 5-month-old black lab, and she stole one of his booties once. And then our other friend's dog, who was older, like a year and a half, he took one of our Soothie Nooks and decided to use it as a chew toy. So we lost one of those. Oh darn. If only my son could actually suck strong enough to keep it in his mouth, it wouldn't be such a problem. He sucks at sucking. It's been a problem. One of my biggest accomplishments was that I breastfed in public in the middle of Mall of America, because I was just trying to breastfeed him under the cover, and he sucks at latching, so I need to like be able to see him to help him, and the cover just, it wasn't working, and I was like, fuck this, and I just laid it out there. Jake was very uncomfortable, but I was like, if I'm not uncomfortable, you shouldn't be uncomfortable. And my mother-in-law was there, but she didn't really care. So I don't know why he did. And we had just seen a mother breastfeeding while she was walking in a carrier. I'm not there yet. I have no idea how. My nanny kid right now, he is in first grade, and last year when he was in kindergarten, one of his classmates' mothers had her sixth child, and she came one time to pick up. She's breastfeeding the new baby. She's holding on to the second youngest, and then she's picking up the third. And I was just like, I want to be you. You seem to have got this down, but it makes sense, you know, sixth kid. You'd hope you would have gotten it done by then. So I was very proud of myself that I was able to just like whip it out, but I'm still a little nervous around like certain people. It's like the more I know people, the less comfortable I am with breastfeeding in front of them. But the thing about breastfeeding like not in front of people is that like at our friend's gathering I had to like go upstairs and hide in a room, and I was just like, this is lonely. And you hear everyone laughing and having fun without you, and you have to sit there and either you like cut the breastfeeding session short because you're like, I want to be with people, or you just like sit there and you've like all of a sudden people are leaving and you're like, oh, but I didn't get to, okay, well. So I've just learned to just kind of like be a part of it and not try not to draw attention. But of course, if anyone's uncomfortable, with groups and things, I've always been like, are you okay with this? If not, I will, you know, I'll head out. It's okay. The cake looks really good. I'm excited. No, I don't want to show it. Also, it's just been really hard because he's growing so fast, and it makes me very, very sad. It's my cat, Quinn. This past month, I started like looking at his photos starting from when he was born onward, and I was just like, he's grown so much, the time's gone by so fast, and he's only 3 months, and I know that sounds ridiculous, especially to like other parents with kids who are much, much older, and my parents, but it's just, I want him to like stay little, but I also can't wait for him to be older to do certain things like to move around, sit on his own. He loves to sit. He wants to be upright and sitting and looking at everything, but he can't do it by himself, so then you have to do it, and it's like, oh, I have things to do, kid. Oh no, I'm leaking. It's because I'm talking about him. Yes, I'm wearing a beautiful nursing tank that's covered with vomit and pee probably, and you know, but I've only worn it one day, so yay me. I'm doing pretty well. I have my hair washed, I have semi-clean clothes on, I even put some lippy on for you guys. Gwen, what are you doing? Kids, right? So the big things that he's been starting to do this month is has always been very, very strong from when he was first born, but he can actually push himself up to standing with his legs, which is insane. I think he might just skip crawling and go to walking, to be honest. I feel like by 6 months he'll be, I know, that's crazy, I'm just kidding, but like, I'm a little upset that he is so strong, because that means I'm gonna have to start chasing him sooner than I expected. But it's good. I know it's good. It's just like, just stay where I put you for a while. I want him to get to the sitting up part, but just staying where I put him. That's a great age where you can like plop them and they can play, but you don't have to worry about where they're going, especially when you have to go to the bathroom. My husband's trying to leave the area without being on screen. It's not working very well. Get out of here. He's fine. He's not hurt. He's fine. Don't worry about it. One of the other things that my son is working on, William, his name is William. It's William. is he's trying to roll over from his back to his front, which my mom is very excited about and means that he's super strong, and usually it's the other way around. He's almost there. He just kind of gets stuck here, and then, you know, he doesn't quite know how to whip his leg over. And honestly, again, you know, I mean, let's just keep you where you are. Let's not start rolling yet. Mom still wants to be able to go pee without worrying about where you're gonna end up in 5 minutes. 5 seconds. It doesn't take me 5 minutes to pee. I just threw that out there. One of the hardest things, honestly, right now, being a new mom, not working, is the money. Money is, it's just, you know, you can plan as much as you want, and we probably should have planned a little bit more before we had a baby, but it just sucks. And granted, New York State is great, and I was able to get 8 weeks paid of maternity leave, and my nanny family is wonderful and gave me 6 months of maternity leave, but it's not all paid. And I thought I could do the whole like work from home and, you know, make time and a schedule, and it's not happening. I've tried even doing like the survey sites, and I'll start a survey and all of a sudden he's like, me. It has gotten a little easier now that he's a bit older and he can be awake without being upset about it and actually want to play. But I'm just trying to juggle between, do I catch up on sleep when he sleeps or when he's content, or do I clean, or do I, you know, try and have some me time and do a puzzle on my phone, or, you know, do I work? And it's just, I mean, there's tons of women out there who don't get a choice, and I understand that. It's just been a struggle for me, and it's hard because my mom was so amazing when she was raising us, that she was, you know, getting her doctorate and going to school and working 2 jobs full time and still having time for us. And it was, you know, I don't think I'm gonna be able to be one of those moms, and I'm coming to terms with it, and I'm trying not to do the whole social media Instagram comparisons. I mean, this shiny lip right here is surprising. Oh, this video is going on too long, longer than I wanted. Anyway, so that's what's happening this month. So 3 months of nanny turned mom, and I'm going to try and keep doing videos, and I'm also going to be doing videos from the past, so I'm going to be working backwards as well. I don't know what this, I just kind of wanted an outlet because I've been feeling a little lonely, and one of my mom friends said that she would find my perspective, having been a nanny and now a mom. I'm still a nanny, I'm going back to work, but that whole thing interesting, and I don't know if it's an interesting perspective, but it has been a crazy whirlwind experience, especially on the days when I can't just hand him off and be like, peace out, I'm going home and I'm gonna sleep. So I don't know, I'm rambling. I tried to stay on task. I don't know if it worked or anything, but this is, yeah. And yes, I'm sitting on the floor in my hallway because I don't want you to see any other part of my apartment, because it's a mess. It's a mess. Working on it. I'm gonna try doing a schedule soon. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't know. I'm not good at this. My next video will be pretty much about his 2nd month of life, and yeah, so this is that. And and subscribe if you want to watch more videos. My husband's like, tell them to subscribe, and I'm like, I don't want to push it on them, you know? I just want to be friendly and out there, and you can watch or you don't even, bye.